Germany and Italy, the hypothesis of repatriating gold from New York. Trump can limit access. Gold bars worth a total of $245 billion could soon be transferred from New York to Berlin and Rome. According to the Financial Times, Germany and Italy are considering withdrawing their gold, held by the US Federal Reserve, to bring it back under their direct control. The growing fear, in fact, is that the sparks caused by the periodic clash between US President Donald Trump and the US Central Bank could cause a fire. And that, with a coup de main, the tycoon could gain more and more influence over the Fed's policies, going to limit the ability to access bullion in the event of a crisis. The wealth of Germany and Italy is 43% of the reserve in the US. The United States, Germany and Italy, the three fulcrums of the Golden Triangle, being the countries that have the largest gold reserves in the world at their disposal. According to data from the World Gold Council, Berlin follows Washington at a distance with 3,352 tons, while Rome occupies the last step of the podium with 2,452 tons. The two European capitals, however, have entrusted a good chunk of their reserves to New York. Respectively, 37% of German gold and 43% of Italian gold, for a total value of $245 billion. A wealth that has never been in question because it is under the direct control of the most powerful and influential bank in the world, but which now risks shaking, especially in the face of Trump's threats against the Fed's decision not to lower rates. But why is almost half of Italy's gold in the United States? It is a simple historical legacy, in particular of those Bretton Woods agreements that in 1944 had nailed the exchange rates of currencies around the world to the value of the dollar, in turn fixed to the value of gold. In those years, in short, having the bars in the United States was a certainty, and the collapse of the agreements in 1971, with the exit of the United States ordered by then-President Richard Nixon, did not affect the decision of Germany and Italy. Paris, on the contrary, had anticipated Washington's decision by withdrawing all its bullion for fear of the implosion of the international monetary system. The fear of Trump's hand and Giorgia Meloni's position. In 2013, in fact, the German Bundesbank had decided to deposit half of its reserves in Berlin, transferring 674 tons of bullion from Paris and New York to Frankfurt. A move to safeguard part of its reserves, as former Conservative MP Peter Gauweiler pointed out. And I quote, "We have to ask ourselves whether storing gold abroad has become safer and more stable over the last 10 years or not. The answer is obvious." End quote. The risk, it is whispered in the Bundestag, is that Trump could tamper with the independence of the Fed, limiting the control of gold by European central banks. Also because, in the event of a crisis, what really matters is the physical control of the reserves. It is the Financial Times itself that recalls how one of the war horses of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, before the electoral victory, was precisely the repatriation of the reserve. Now, however, an opposite line filters through from his party. The geographical position of gold has only a relative importance, said Fabio Rampelli of FDI. In short, it is in the custody of a historic friend and ally. Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe.